Technology is both a bridge and a barrier for cultures. Indigenous communities use social media to connect and advocate. Yet, technology risks cultural homogenization and misinformation. Modernization can come at a steep price for traditional cultures. Migration to urban areas can fracture communities and erode traditions. In this documentary, we will look at how modernization is affecting and shaping the way of life for some of the ancient communities, including Mongolia's nomads, the Maasai people of Kenya, the children of the Northern Lights Sámi, Aboriginal Australians, and the hill tribes. The clash between modernization and tradition often plays out across generations. Elders may see modern ways as a betrayal, while youth see it as essential. Bridging this divide is crucial for cultural survival. Imagine Mongolia, where the nomadic spirit roams the vast steppes. Life here is a delicate dance between survival and sustainability, but the winds of change threaten this ancient way of life. If you enjoy videos like this, please subscribe for more. Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia's capital, contrasts the open steppes. Young nomads are drawn to the city for education and jobs. The transition is challenging, with cultural displacement and climate impacts. Mongolians are determined to preserve their cultural heritage. Throat singing and traditional instruments resonate in urban life. Festivals like Neodam celebrate and sustain their nomadic identity. Mongolia's nomadic culture balances between modernization and tradition. Ecotourism and sustainable initiatives offer hope. The challenge is to preserve ancient traditions amidst progress. In East Africa, the Maasai live as iconic warriors and herders. Their lives are intertwined with cattle and community traditions. However, modernity's encroachment threatens their ancient rhythms. The Maasai face land loss, climate change, and modernity's allure. Education and urban opportunities pull them from tradition. They strive to balance preserving culture with adapting to change. For the Maasai people, tourism offers economic empowerment, but risks cultural commodification. The Masai must balance sharing their culture with maintaining its integrity. It's about harnessing tourism's potential without losing authenticity. The Masai exhibit resilience, adapting to modernity on their terms. Entrepreneurs and leaders advocate for land rights and cultural preservation. The Masai people's lion spirit endures, honoring the past while embracing the future. From Masai people, we move on to the children of the Northern Lights. In the northernmost reaches of Europe, where the sun barely rises above the horizon for months on end, and the night sky dances with the ethereal glow of the aurora borealis, live the Sami, an indigenous people whose lives are deeply intertwined with the rhythms of the Arctic. Their world is one of stark beauty, a vast expanse of tundra, mountains and frozen lakes that stretches across Norway, Sweden, Finland and Russia. For centuries, the Sami people have roamed these lands, their existence a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of nature's extremes. The Sami people are reindeer herders, their lives intricately connected to the movements and well-being of these majestic creatures. Reindeer provide more than just sustenance. They are woven into the very fabric of Sami culture. Their presence felt in every aspect of their lives, from their traditional clothing and crafts to their songs, stories, and spiritual beliefs. The relationship between the Sami and their reindeer is one of deep respect and interdependence, a bond forged over generations of living in harmony with the land. Their traditional knowledge of reindeer herding, passed down through generations, is a marvel of adaptation and understanding of the natural world. They possess an uncanny ability to read the subtle signs of the tundra, to anticipate the movements of their herds, and to navigate the vast expanse of their Arctic homeland. Their lives are governed by the seasons, their annual migrations dictated by the reindeer's need for grazing and calving grounds. But the Arctic, once a realm of predictable cycles and ancient rhythms, is now changing at an alarming rate. The impact of climate change is being felt more acutely in these northern latitudes than anywhere else on Earth, threatening to unravel the delicate balance that has sustained the Sami way of life for centuries. The thawing process in the Arctic is threatening the Sami people's way of life. The Arctic is warming twice as fast as the global average, and the consequences for the Sami are profound. The once predictable patterns of ice freeze and thaw are becoming increasingly erratic, making it difficult for reindeer to access their traditional grazing grounds. Warmer winters bring rain instead of snow, encasing the tundra in a layer of ice that prevents reindeer from reaching the lichen beneath, their primary source of food. These changing conditions are forcing the Sami to adapt their herding practices, often at great cost. They find themselves having to travel farther and farther in search of suitable grazing lands, contending with thinner ice, unpredictable weather, and the encroachment of human development on their traditional territories. The impact of climate change extends beyond the immediate challenges of reindeer herding. It threatens the very foundations of Sami culture, eroding their connection to the land and their traditional way of life. As the Arctic environment transforms, so too does their sense of identity and belonging. The stories they tell, the songs they sing, the rituals they perform, all are deeply rooted in a world that is rapidly disappearing. The thaw is not just a physical phenomenon, it is a cultural one, threatening to melt away traditions, knowledge, and a way of life that has endured for millennia. And so, the Sami people have no choice but to reinvent tradition. Despite the unprecedented challenges they face, the Sami are not simply resigning themselves to the fate of their culture. They are drawing upon their deep well of resilience and adaptability, seeking ways to preserve their heritage while embracing the tools and technologies of the 21st century. Younger generations of Sami, raised in a world where tradition and modernity intersect, are at the forefront of this cultural reinvention. They are blending their ancestral knowledge of reindeer herding with modern technologies, using GPS trackers to monitor their herds, drones to survey grazing lands, and social media platforms to connect with other herders and share information. They are utilizing these tools not to replace their traditional practices, but to enhance them, to adapt to the changing Arctic environment, while maintaining the essence of their cultural heritage. This technological integration extends beyond reindeer herding. Sami artisans are using digital platforms to showcase and sell their traditional crafts, reaching a global audience and generating income that supports their communities. Sami musicians are blending traditional instruments and singing styles with modern genres, creating a unique sound that reflects the evolving nature of their culture. There is a growing movement among young Sami to reclaim their language, revitalize their cultural practices, and educate the world about the challenges they face. They are not simply inheriting a culture, they are actively shaping its future, ensuring that it remains relevant and vibrant for generations to come. The Sami have managed to adapt to change while protecting the identity of who they are. The Sami's cultural identity is dynamic, shaped by tradition and change. They show resilience, preserving heritage while adapting to a changing world. Facing climate change and seeking recognition, they remain hopeful and determined. Their yuaks echo across the tundra, a testament to their enduring spirit. Balancing past and present, they shape a future where tradition and modernity coexist. Ensuring Sami culture echoes across the Arctic for generations. In the vast expanse of the Australian outback lies a story as old as time itself. It is the story of the Aboriginal Australians, the oldest living culture on Earth, their presence woven into the very fabric of the land. Their songs, dances, and ceremonies express a deep connection to the land. They honor the ancestors and celebrate their heritage. Over the past century, there has been a significant migration of Aboriginal Australians from remote communities to urban centres. Driven by a complex interplay of factors, including limited economic opportunities in rural areas, the legacy of past government policies that forcibly removed many Aboriginal people from their traditional lands, and the desire for better access to education and healthcare, this shift to urban environments has brought about both challenges and opportunities for Aboriginal communities. Life in the city can be a world away from the traditional lands and cultural practices that have sustained them for millennia. The concrete jungle, with its fast pace and impersonal nature, can feel alienating and isolating. Maintaining their cultural identity and connection to their heritage in such a different environment can be a constant struggle. The loss of language, the breakdown of traditional family structures, and the challenges of preserving cultural practices in an urban setting are just some of the hurdles faced by many Aboriginal people living in cities. They often encounter prejudice and discrimination, the legacy of past injustices casting a long shadow over their present realities. Despite these challenges, the Aboriginal spirit remains strong, their resilience evident in their determination to maintain their cultural identity and create a sense of belonging in urban environments. In the heart of Australia's bustling cities, a cultural renaissance is taking place, a testament to the enduring strength and adaptability of Aboriginal traditions. Far from being relegated to the history books, Aboriginal culture is finding new expressions, breathing life and vibrancy into urban landscapes. From vibrant street art that transforms city walls into canvases for sharing their stories, to contemporary dance performances that fuse traditional movements with modern choreography, Aboriginal artists are pushing the boundaries of their creativity, captivating audiences and challenging perceptions. Community-led initiatives play a vital role in keeping the Dreamtime alive in urban centres. Language programs are working tirelessly to revive and preserve their Indigenous tongues, recognising language as the foundation of their cultural identity. Cultural centres provide a space for sharing their stories, passing on traditional knowledge, and connecting with community. These efforts are not simply about preserving the past, but about shaping a future where Aboriginal culture continues to thrive, enriching the fabric of Australian society and inspiring future generations. The Aboriginal Australians hope for a shared future. The story of Aboriginal Australians is deeply intertwined with the history of Australia itself. It is a complex and often painful story, marked by colonisation, dispossession, and injustice. But it is also a story of resilience, survival, and the enduring strength of culture. As Australia grapples with its past and strives to create a more equitable future, reconciliation with its Aboriginal people is paramount. Recognising past wrongs, acknowledging the ongoing impact of historical trauma, and creating pathways for healing and understanding are essential steps in this journey. This requires listening to Aboriginal voices, respecting their cultural heritage, and working together to create a society where all Australians feel a sense of belonging and shared identity. It is about recognising the invaluable contributions that Aboriginal culture makes to the richness and diversity of Australian society. The path towards reconciliation is not always easy, but it is a journey worth taking. For in the stories, the wisdom and the resilience of its Aboriginal people lies the potential for a richer, more inclusive and truly Australian future. The Hill Tribes and Modernization. The mountains of Southeast Asia are home to a vibrant tapestry of cultures, known collectively as the Hill Tribes. Scattered across Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, and southern China, these tribes have unique languages, customs, and beliefs, from the Hmong's intricate batik textiles, to the Karen's elaborate silver jewelry, to the Aka's distinctive headdresses. The Hill Tribes represent a rich cultural heritage. Their lives are deeply intertwined with the land. Their villages are havens of community and tradition, their houses built of bamboo and thatch. Their festivals celebrate the cycles of life. But the winds of change are sweeping through the mountains. Globalization and modernization present challenges and opportunities for these communities. The threads of change across the Hill Tribe communities. The forces of globalization and modernization are weaving a complex tapestry of change across the Hill Tribe communities of Southeast Asia. Economic development, while bringing about improvements in infrastructure and access to education and healthcare, is also leading to a shift away from traditional livelihoods. Subsistence farming, once the mainstay of their existence, is becoming increasingly challenging as land becomes scarcer due to population growth and competing demands from commercial agriculture. The lure of employment opportunities in urban centers, particularly for younger generations, is drawing people away from their villages, leading to a decline in traditional knowledge and practices. The influx of tourists, eager to witness their unique cultures and purchase their handcrafted goods, has brought about both economic benefits and cultural challenges. While tourism can provide much-needed income for Hill Tribe communities, it can also lead to the commodification of their culture, the pressure to conform to tourist expectations, and the potential erosion of the authenticity of their traditions. The challenge for the Hill Tribes is to find a way to adapt to these changing realities while preserving the essence of their cultural identity. It is a delicate balancing act, navigating the complexities of a globalized world while holding on to the traditions and values that have sustained them for generations. Despite the challenges they face, the Hill Tribes of Southeast Asia are demonstrating remarkable resilience and adaptability, finding creative ways to weave a new narrative for themselves in the 21st century. They are not passive victims of circumstance, but active agents in shaping their own destinies, drawing upon their deep well of cultural knowledge and entrepreneurial spirit to create new opportunities. Many Hill Tribe communities are embracing sustainable tourism as a way to generate income while sharing their culture and traditions with the world on their own terms. They are opening their villages to visitors, offering homestays, trekking expeditions and cultural workshops that provide an authentic glimpse into their way of life. Hill Tribe artisans, renowned for their exquisite craftsmanship, are finding new markets for their traditional textiles, jewelry, and handicrafts. Online platforms and fair trade organizations are providing them with access to global consumers who appreciate the unique beauty and cultural significance of their work. There is a growing movement within Hill Tribe communities to revitalize their languages, preserve their traditional knowledge, and educate younger generations about their cultural heritage. Schools are incorporating Indigenous languages and cultural programs into their curricula, ensuring that their traditions are passed on to future generations. The beauty and allure of the Hill Tribe cultures of Southeast Asia have made them a popular destination for tourists seeking an authentic cultural experience. However, this influx of tourism, while bringing about economic benefits, also raises important ethical considerations. The commodification of culture The potential for exploitation and the erosion of traditional values are real concerns that need to be addressed. The pressure to conform to tourist expectations can lead to the staging of cultural performances that lack authenticity, the mass production of souvenirs that bear little resemblance to traditional crafts, and the intrusion of outside influences that threaten the integrity of their cultural heritage. It is essential that tourism in these regions is approached with sensitivity, respect, and a commitment to responsible engagement. Supporting community-based tourism initiatives, engaging with local guides who are knowledgeable about their culture and traditions, and being mindful of the impact of our actions are crucial steps in ensuring that tourism benefits the hill tribe communities rather than exploiting them. The hill tribes of Southeast Asia, with their rich cultural heritage and deep connection to the land, have much to offer the world. By approaching tourism with a sense of responsibility and respect, we can help ensure that their cultures continue to thrive, their traditions are preserved, and their voices are heard in an increasingly globalized world. Our journey has taken us across continents, from Mongolia to Africa, the Arctic, Australia, and Southeast Asia. We've seen modernization's impact on traditional cultures and the resilience of the human spirit. Globalization and technology reshape lives, creating both opportunities and uncertainties. Yet the human spirit adapts, preserving cultural identity, the enduring spirit of humanity. Throughout this exploration, one theme has emerged as a constant, and that is the transformative role of technology in the lives of traditional cultures. Technology, in its many forms, has become both a bridge and a barrier, a force for both preservation and change. The internet, social media, and mobile devices have connected once isolated communities to the global village, creating unprecedented opportunities for cultural exchange, education, and economic empowerment. We've seen how Indigenous communities are using technology to document and share their languages, stories, and traditions with a global audience, ensuring their transmission to future generations. Online platforms have become powerful tools for cultural preservation, for connecting with diaspora communities, and for advocating for Indigenous rights on a global stage. Yet, the digital age also presents challenges. The dominance of certain languages and cultures online risks marginalizing the voices of smaller, less technologically advanced communities. The rapid dissemination of information, while offering opportunities for cultural exchange, can also lead to the spread of misinformation and the erosion of traditional knowledge systems. The question, then, is not whether to embrace technology, but how to harness its power in a way that benefits traditional cultures, empowers them to share their stories on their own terms, and ensures that their voices are not drowned out in the digital noise. The digital village has the potential to be a powerful force for cultural preservation and understanding, but it requires mindful engagement and a commitment to inclusivity. As our world becomes increasingly interconnected, the need for balance becomes ever more apparent. The challenge facing traditional cultures in the 21st century is not simply about preserving the past, but about finding ways to adapt and thrive in a rapidly changing world. It's about striking a delicate balance between tradition and modernity, between honoring their cultural heritage while embracing the opportunities of the present. Globalization, for all its complexities, offers both promise and peril. It has the potential to connect cultures, foster understanding, and create new economic opportunities. Yet, it also carries the risk of cultural homogenization, the erosion of local identities, and the exploitation of traditional knowledge and resources. Finding a sustainable path forward requires a nuanced approach, one that recognizes the value of both tradition and modernity. It requires acknowledging the importance of cultural diversity, of respecting the rights of Indigenous communities, and of ensuring that they have a voice in the decisions that affect their lives. It's about creating a world where globalization and local identity can coexist, where economic development goes hand in hand with cultural preservation, and where the richness and diversity of human cultures are celebrated rather than homogenized. Our journey has been a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring power of culture, and the importance of understanding and respecting the diversity of human experience. In a world often divided by difference, the stories of the cultures we've encountered remind us that we are all connected, that our shared humanity transcends our perceived boundaries. The challenges facing traditional cultures are not theirs alone to bear. They are a reflection of the challenges we all face in a world grappling with rapid change, environmental degradation, and the complexities of globalization. The choices we make, individually and collectively, will determine the fate of cultural diversity in the 21st century. By embracing a spirit of curiosity, empathy, and a willingness to learn from each other, we can create a future where different cultures are not seen as a threat, but as a source of strength and enrichment. The tapestry of human culture is woven from countless threads, each one representing a unique story, a distinct perspective, and a valuable contribution to the richness and diversity of our world.